Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome to a very special episode of Atari A to Z. This is an extra episode alongside this week's normal episode for reasons that you'll see very soon. So, today we're looking at a new game that is part of an old trilogy. If you've been watching this series for a while, you may recall that a while back we've looked at two games called Diamonds and Dan Strikes Back. Now, both of those were games by a guy called Simon Hunt, who released them through English Software, who were a very well-regarded company back in the early 80s, particularly for Atari 8-bit software. And Diamonds and Dan Strikes Back were very well-regarded games in their own right because they were a lot of fun. Diamonds was a sort of a dirt and boulders game, I like to call it. It's where you dig through things and you collect diamonds and you drop rocks on things and all sorts of things. So a little bit of dig dug in there, but it also had its own unique twists on the formula as well. Dan Strikes Back followed that up with a completely different style of gameplay, but using the same character. So a very early example of using recognizable characters in a series of games and putting them in different contexts. And one thing I said back when I was looking at these first games is that Simon Hunt supposedly originally intended these games to be a trilogy. Sort of loosely based on the idea of Star Wars. So you had Diamonds, which was Star Wars. Then you had Dan Strikes Back, which is The Empire Strikes Back. And then there was supposed to be this third game called Return of the Fungi. Now, that one never got beyond the design stage, apparently. Also, I thought, because at one point, I think it was last year or so, Simon Hunt actually found my Diamonds videos. They tracked me down and got in touch and said that he enjoyed my playthroughs of them and that he accepted my challenge to create the third game in the Diamond series, which is not at all what I was expecting to happen at all. I did indeed in that video on Dan Strikes Back challenge people to create the third game in the Digger Dan trilogy, but the last person I expected to get in touch and say, okay, I'll do that, was the original creator themselves. So yeah, the Digger Dan trilogy is now complete, and we're going to take a look at the new game today, Return of the Fungi. The reason I've got this webpage up on screen now is this is actually the documentation that Simon Hunt put together as part of the complete Digger Dan trilogy package that you can download. And I'll provide a link to that in the description, as well as in the article that will accompany this video as well, over on Retro Unite. So watch out for that. Let's just have a quick look through what we've got here. It all began in 1983. So I won't read all of this out because you can read it for yourself if you download the package for yourselves. But it gives you a bit of information about the context of all this, where it came from, what happened. Here we are. Here's a mention of me. Yeah, with more than 3 decades of professional software development experience behind me, I set about writing the final installment in the Digger Dan trilogy. With a modern development environment, WUDSN IDE coupled with the Altera emulator is a fun project to tackle in my spare time. Return of the Fungi was completed at the end of August 2021. Yeah, so this is a brand new game that is now available for everyone to play and enjoy. So let's go and do that just now. If I can just dig out the XEX files. We'll be playing it on the Altera emulator as God intended. But since this is just an XEX file and it's just 28k, you can easily load this onto a flash cartridge or load it onto a floppy disk or something like that and play it on real hardware as well. So I will definitely be doing that because it will just feel right to play it on real hardware. But for the purposes of video capture today, we'll be running it on Altera. So let us play. Because I'm very professional, isn't it? Meowster Retro presents Return of the Fungi by Simon Hunt. Copyright 1986. Or is it? There's Digger Dan. Kaboom! 2021. How about that? yeah, I'm kind of blown away by the fact that this exists now, and that I had a small part to play in making this happen. I mean, all I did was say, hey, I like these games. It'd be cool if the third one came along at some point, but well, here it is. And I don't really know what to say. It's kind of an amazing feeling. So thank you very much, Simon, for first of all getting in touch and accepting my challenge. It wasn't a serious statement by any means, but I'm very, very happy that you decided to take on the challenge as seriously as you did, and that we are now here finally playing Return of the Fungi. So the way this game works is it's in two phases. You're trying to protect the Great Diamond in the middle. So the Great Diamond is what Digger Dan was pursuing in the first Diamonds and attempting to steal back from Brian the Blob in the second game, Dan Strikes Back. So in this game, Dan has basically he's rescued the Great Diamond, and he's now got it protected by a force field in the middle there. And Brian the Blob, being a bit of a unpleasant piece of work, has decided that he wants to try and take it back. So he is attempting to use his toadstools and fungi to make that happen. So you have two phases to deal with. First of all, you place proximity mines to try and deal with these toadstools that are hopping around the place. If you leave the toadstools on the screen for too long, they will become fungus that will spread in the second stage. And this first phase is over either when you destroy all of the toadstools or when the meter on the right hand side of the screen, which is the spore meter, builds up to full. And then in this second stage, the fungus gradually starts to grow a bit at a time, and you get points for blowing pieces of it away. But the interesting thing is you basically keep getting points while it's still growing. So it's actually sort of in your interest to try and use as much of Dan's energy as possible to try and get a few extra points along the way. I believe that's the way it works anyway. Simon Hunt did actually provide a full optional breakdown of how all the scoring works and so on. So if you really want to know how the mechanics of this game work and how the scoring is calculated and all that sort of thing, there is full documentation available for that. So, but he warns, if you want to sort of maintain the air of mystery that old 8-bit games tended to have about them, then avoid reading that until you've played the game a few times at least. So there's supposedly a pattern to how the toadstools move. I haven't spotted it yet, but there is apparently a pattern to it. But we will figure it out eventually, I'm sure. Or not. Anyway, time to deal with some fungus. Traditional retro gamers may also be interested to note that this is a game you can beat as well. So this doesn't just go on forever. It actually has an ending. If you play through all 20 waves of it and successfully complete all of those levels, then you've won. You've beaten the game. There we go. Lovely stuff. But yeah, I really like this. From what I've played so far. I mean, I'm playing this on the day that Simon sent it to me, so it's all still quite new to me. But I like it a lot. It's got a few elements of sort of missile command in there as well, with sort of the catching the things in the explosion and so on, and setting up chain reactions. Nice bit of risk versus reward with the scoring, which, as we often say on this channel, is very important to arcade-style games. Whoops. And the presentation is really nice. It's very authentic to the original Diamond games, but it's also it also feels very modern with all of the sort of interface animation and that sort of thing. There's something very, very modern feeling about it. Ooh. Right. On to wave 5 out of 20. So you'll see each phase that, each wave rather, things start to move a little bit quicker. You have more to deal with at any given time. So yeah, making it all the way to that 20th level is going to be a challenge, I'm sure. But we'll see how far we can get today. Oh, the spore meter's full! So that means we've got to try and deal with this as quickly as possible before it gets too out of control. Now, this is one of those games where the scoring potential increases with each passing level, so there's basically a sort of multiplier on your score with each stage. So the further you get in the game, the higher the scores you'll be able to get. And so it's almost in your interest to sort of romp through the early stages fairly quickly and get onto the higher stages so you can obtain some higher scores. Whoopsie! I appreciate it being the same death animation and when the Saints go marching in music as in the old games. That's a nice callback. Like I say, it all feels very authentic. I mean, that should be no surprise from the original creator, but bear in mind the original games were made in, what did we say, 1983, 1984? This was made in 2021. And so in a lot of ways, it's quite remarkable that it's sort of maintained as much of the character of the original as it has, while simultaneously adding a lot of this modern feel to the mix as well. Because there's definitely some lessons being learned from modern gaming here. And there's definitely a bunch of sort of presentational techniques that may not have been practical or easy to do. With older programming techniques or development environments or that sort of thing. Oops. Oh, we lose some points for that because we ran out of energy and there was still some fungus on the board. One thing Simon said to me in his correspondence with me was that a fair few of the design decisions in this game are actually sort of indirectly my fault. I won't say fault because they're good things, but a lot of them are things that I've specifically pointed out as things that I like in video games. So you'll notice things like the scoring system, the way it doesn't just add points to your score, it actually gives you a little readout in the top right of how many points you've just scored, and then it counts those into your score. That's something I've always said that I like. It's I sort of describe it as pinball style scoring. And I'm very fond of that sort of thing because it's nice feedback. It's good feedback while you're playing. It's because you can hear when you're scoring points, and it's satisfying. There's something very satisfying about it. And that's something I think Simon has really nailed with this. Is just the whole sort of kind of arcadey feel to it. Just the way the interface works and the sort of transitions between different phases and the sound effects and the on-screen and the audible feedback. Yeah, he's done an excellent job with this. Come on, I can do this. Maybe I can't do this. Oh, come on. Oh. Few points lost. Not too many, though. Doing pretty well. Wave 8. Nearly halfway. Look at all those mushrooms. Oh god, Brian's going really fast now. It's scary. That's alright, because Dan's going really fast as well. Speedy digger Dan. Oops. Little too speedy, some might say. I like that sort of brief period of invincibility at the start of the stage as well. It's quite nice, because it lasts for as long as you want. So Dan remains invincible until you press the fire button, so you can sort of position him optimally to try and get some big scores. Because in this first phase, the best scores come from catching multiple toadstools in the explosions at once. Right. Let's try and get this cleared up as quickly as we can. Stop catching myself from my own explosions as well. There we go, done. Lovely. Wave 9! Yeah, I love this. You've done a fantastic job, Simon. And thank you for involving me in the process and inviting me to reveal this to the world. It's a genuine pleasure. And I hope everyone else who comes to try this out for themselves gets plenty of enjoyment out of it as well. And if you don't play Diamonds and Dan Strikes Back before, be sure to give those both a go as well, because they're both included in this trilogy pack as well, so you can play them all. Right, that is game over. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of that rather than spending too long on this, because obviously what both Simon and I want is for you to play this. So yeah, follow the link down in the description, assuming you haven't already come via the article on Retro Unite about this, and download it for yourself. Give it a go. Try it out on Altera, or load it up onto real hardware, and yeah, have some fun. It's a great game. It's a great game, a brand new game for Atari 8-bit that I had a very small part in making happen, which is still blowing me away. There's the Atari computers are so important to me, and these games that I grew up with are so massively important to me that to know that just something I said as an offhand comment on a video inspired the creator of one of my favourite games from this early period to go and finish something that might not have otherwise got finished at any point. That's incredible to me. So a sincere thank you to Simon Hunt for reaching out and talking about this, and I hope all of you who give this a go for yourself, I hope you enjoy it. So that is Return of the Fungi for Atari 8-bit on this very special episode of Atari A to Z. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.